Hey everyone, welcome back to Glen Forge. Today we're going to be doing something special. This is going to be the first video of a series that I'm going to be working with here with Mr. Dan Tokar at the Willow Forge of making a katana, a Japanese katana. So I'm very excited to do this. I thought this would be a very neat idea and switch things up a little bit. Dan here is going to explain to me and to you what we're going to be doing and how we're going to be making this sword.
Yes, I think the first thing is we have this funny looking piece of wrought iron. This is actually iron, old iron, and it's been forged out into this sort of paddle shape on the end here. It's about 1/4 of an inch thick and 4.5, 5 inches long, rectangular. And we have some high carbon steel, and not having Tamagani steel, we are going to use old files which have been broken into pieces that are about the right size to stack on this paddle, because the first step in this is that we have to weld together a bunch of the high carbon steel on the iron paddle and weld that all together, and then we can start folding it and welding it in order to get the fine laminations and reduce the carbon of the high carbon steel and increase the carbon in the wrought iron. And this will be the skin steel of the katana, and we'll have a different piece of metal which will be the core of the katana, which is another traditional method. The skin steel makes the edge and the more refined outside skin. So
Lots of folding.
A fair amount.
A fair amount.
Yeah, 10 to 15 folds will get you a good skin steel. The first thing is to stack a bunch of these pieces on here so that we have a fairly nice little flat stack. That's what we want, flat stacks. And we're not being too worried about getting it perfectly even, just so that it is a stack. And we cross them over because there's nothing really holding things on this stack except gravity until we get the first weld. And we can't have too thick of a stack to start with because we'll have trouble welding it. But yeah, that's about the start. And we're going to use what I think of as an organic flux, which is basically wood ashes, which is fairly close to the straw ash that traditional swordsmiths use as a flux.
Okay,
We'll mix up some ash and water and make kind of a paste and apply that, and then we'll stick it in the fire, get it hot enough. And this is traditionally done by a team of men, and not having 3 guys with sledgehammers to help us.
It's going to be just you and me.
Just you and me. We'll get it up to the right welding temperature, and you will pull it out and hold it on the anvil like that. And there's a reason why there's a nice long handle, because when this thing gets welded, it is going to throw quite a lot of pretty little sparks and slag everywhere.
Delightful.
Yes, delightful. And so yes, having a long handle is a good safety factor. And we do have some leather aprons and things too, so that we don't get too burned up doing that.
Excellent, that would be preferable.
That's the exciting part, that first weld. Yeah, and I would be on that side hammering the thing. And once we have it compact enough, we may need to do 2 welds on that to make sure we get the whole thing fairly well welded. And then we'll do the first folding after that.
Awesome, sounds good. Let's get cracking.
So we need to make some flux. A big box of wood ash. part of the tradition would be to use some nice mulberry paper to sort of make a paper envelope, a dam, and you could just sort of pour this flux mixture on there. But at temperature, the flux mixture is going to be a liquid and will flow down in through the pile. So having it on top like this actually is okay. We have our little checkerboard grid, you know. Actually, it would be like that. So you hit like that, and that way you're sure you hit all of it.
And there we go. That's the process.
All right, I'm going to pull this out and I can shake it off and just strike it in that grid. You got it. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You hear how it sounds more solid? Okay, now we're going to turn this over and you're going to score it right there. Hit it pretty hard. Right there. Keep hitting. More. Right there. Yeah, just keep going. Keep going. All right, we're about to break this thing off, I think, but keep going, hit it. Hit it. Up there. We got a piece coming off the front. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get this hot enough, and we're going to bend it, and we're going to put it over the handle again, so that the handle will be in the center of that. there is that old saying about swords like this, is that they are just condensed labor. If
You don't say.
Yes, a sword like this, because I mean from start to finish, if you do it properly and traditionally, you probably have 100 man-hours of work in just the forging part of making the sword.
We're going to use the trip hammer.
If the Yoshihira brothers in Japan can use a trip hammer,
Then we can.
turn it over so we can see the score mark. Right, and you put the score mark just past the edge of the anvil straight. Yes, like that. And yes, we have to straighten that out. All right. I turn it 90 because we want to straighten this out. Now we do our favorite thing. We put more flux on. That's our favoriteest thing. That's why we have the really big box of flux. We welded up the raw material and then did the first fold and then drew it out and cut it halfway through and folded it over. So this is the second fold. And so that'll get welded the next time and drawn out and cut the other way, because each time you cut it, you change the orientation. You fold it long ways once, sideways the next way.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and
Right.
repeat, yeah.
Okay, cool. And we are literally soaked in sweat, so to give you an idea, that is generally how it feels to go about doing a lot of work on the...
Yeah, and that's about 1/10 of the forge work toward having a sword.
So don't worry, next time expect more of all this. Wonderful.
Yes, sweating.
Sweating.
3 inches by 3 inches by 1.25 inches, which means that there's about 11 cubic inches of metal in there, and 3.5 cubic inches is a pound. So that's roughly 3 pounds and change. And the finished sword, when it's done, will be around 2 pounds. So we will lose about 50% of this in the process to making the sword. So about half of that will get eaten up as scale or ground off or otherwise lost in the process.
So next time we're just going to keep doing the process, rinse and repeat until we
have the finished block, and then we can start drawing it out.
Awesome. All right. So just stay tuned for that, and thank you for joining us here at Glen Forge. And please remember to check out Dan Tokar's YouTube channel.
The Blacksmith's Dictionary is, or just Dan Tokar. Yes.
Yep, either or. Please, he is an amazing smith, and I appreciate him working on this series with me and look forward to working with him next time. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Bye.